Destiny is gonna take its course, brother. Roll, brothers, brother. I'm fighting for life, brother. We've been hanging and banging, brother. 20,000 leagues under the sea is a nice place to deposit somebody, brother.
Welcome to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast from three guys who taught sports together over lunch for over 10 years, probably eating a Fudgy the Whale in that time.
Welcome everybody to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. I am here with, from parts unknown, and this is probably, that's why I started out with this one today, Michael Pipperson.
I'm doing great. Excited to talk about a couple of different topics. Sad news, but all good. Doing great over here.
And from Rumson, New Jersey, we have Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
I'm good. It's been a while, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to get slogged through this baseball season, and it's difficult. The Yankees are bad.
They're bad. They've been bad for a couple of years. Well, we'll talk. Okay, let's talk. Okay, so we have a bunch of topics today. I want to start out with the one that is probably near and dear to all of our hearts. Whether or not you like the guy or not like the guy, you knew who he was, and so we just heard about the very sad passing of the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. I'm pretty bummed about this. I was a Hulk Hogan fan. I had a Hulkamaniac shirt. I mean, he kind of got me into, even though I liked wrestling before, he kind of like gave it a rebirth, and he was a lot of fun. He was fun, and again, he was over the top. I mean, if you think that's how he was an over the top guy, but they needed it at the time, and I don't know. So who wants to go first and talk about it?
I mean, I loved him as a kid, and then, I think as an adult, I came to realize he wasn't such a nice guy. I think all these guys, first of all, I can't believe Ric Flair is outliving all these guys.
Or Keith Richards.
Yeah, I know. But it's almost like they take on the persona, right? They start living the persona. It becomes their life. And Ric Flair is one of them. And I would say Hulk Hogan became one of them, right? Like, this just became his life, a made-up character. And just very strange, because they had that, remember that whole, I forget what the name of the show was, but his whole family was on it.
Yeah. The Hogans.
Yeah. I mean, and like, it was like a train wreck, right?
Well, it was like another version of the Kardashians, but it was just at a different level. Yeah.
Yeah, like his daughter and trying to get her singing stuff, and his son getting in accidents and DWI.
And remember who her daughter's best friend was?
No,
Lisa Gastineau.
Really?
Could you imagine those two going out? That just cracks me up.
So a flawed person for sure, and just shows you what that fame can do for you. But like I said, loved him as a kid, loved him in the wrestling realm, and wasn't a big fan of his outside of that. So, and I have some Iron Sheik quotes about Hulk Hogan.
Go ahead. I want to hear, because I love the Iron Sheik. So go ahead.
And he passed away as well. But
yeah,
he said, "Fuck Hogan." That was one. Another one was, Hulk Hogan is not a jabroni. April Fool's Day, you are a fucking jabroni. Hulk Hogan, you're worse than the automatic 20% tip on party 6 or more. I love the broken English too. Hulk Hogan, you are worse than an airport tuna sandwich. Iron Sheik was pretty good. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone except the Hulk Hogan.
The Hulk Hogan.
So he wasn't a fan either.
No, Iron Sheik.
He was not
Obviously,
a fan.
there were some differences there with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many. I don't even know how many times they actually wrestled. That's an interesting one.
Well,
Um,
he won the belt from him.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, they didn't. Maybe didn't give him a rematch or something. Who knows? I mean, it could be. Um, Iron Sheik was usually with going against Sergeant Slaughter all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always a big one.
I think it was just more the outside, the after fact. I
Mhm.
think he kind of knew Hulk was a jerk and wasn't nice to the other wrestlers, and I think that's why he had issues with them. But anyway, another guy going. I mean, I don't know. What were your feelings, Mike?
You know what? Same as you, Alex. As a kid, of course, loved wrestling. Tried ripping my shirt open from the middle, like he used to do. Could never do it. I don't know. Must have I don't know what they did with those shirts. He like ripped them easily. But and then he became the heel. He went over to WCW, became a bad guy. They formed that NWO thing, and I think I was watching the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix, which if you haven't seen it, that's fascinating. That's another horrible human being. Vince
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
one level higher worse, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
gosh! But in the Hogan thing, in that documentary, Hulk Hogan talks about walking away from Vince McMahon. I think the wrestlers wanted to unionize, and Hogan went against that. I think Hogan testified against Vince McMahon in this steroid trial to kind of save himself. Like he got immunity granted, and then I did not realize this or did not remember this, but I guess a number of years ago there was a sex tape released with Hulk Hogan, which I can't imagine anybody would ever want to watch that. But he had made some racist statements in that, and then when he was talking to his son on a prison phone, like a year after that, um, his son was in prison for a car accident that paralyzed his friend. And again, Hulk Hogan was like using the N word and making racist comments. And I guess he got kicked out of the WWE Hall of Fame. They brought him back. They had removed him from the website. So same thing as Alex. Like I realized in kind of preparing for this and reading some articles after Hulk Hogan died, because I think originally when I first heard, I was like, oh, what a bummer. And then I read the articles, all these other articles. I'm like, man, this guy was a bad dude, like not a good person. So
It's like he was trying to live the persona, right?
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm bigger than this and that. I don't know. It's very strange. It's a strange profession to begin with, right?
No, it is. It is. And it's an acting and sports mixed, and
Right.
which is a hard thing.
Yeah.
Well, so here's a TV show that I never really cared for it that much, but it was very popular. He was on a show called Thunder in Paradise. You remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
it was on
with
Channel
Carol
8.
Alt as the girl.
Oh,
Like I couldn't believe that, and he was just a terrible actor.
really?
Um, he was a Randy Hurricane Spencer, and it just was like I know they put him on there to try to get fans because they had a lot of wrestlers come on as
Was,
guest stars every week.
was David Hasselhoff ever in that?
No, Chris Lemon, he's pretty close.
Did you say
Um,
Chris Lemon?
yeah.
Never heard of him.
Oh yeah, he's in a lot of when you see his picture, he's the guy you
Chris
see.
Lemon.
He's in a lot of those. But they had Brutus Beefcake was in it a lot. Jim Neidhart, Jimmy Hart,
Oh, wow.
like they were all in this a lot,
Mhm.
and wait, who else? There's other wrestlers. I was just looking at some of the names.
You know, they probably showed it after wrestling on Channel 9 or something to try to draw an audience
Yeah,
to.
Terry
Yeah.
Funk.
Was it
Was
a
that-
WWE production?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Because they made like a lot of movies, like I think the Marine series, and there was a
No,
couple of things.
it was like from the creators of Baywatch.
So David Hasselhoff must have been involved.
Yeah,
No, he was not.
executive
Maybe he was producing. No, I'm looking at this.
Executive.
I don't see him.
He
He
sang
wasn't
the theme
producing.
song.
No, he didn't. He
in
didn't.
German.
No, he didn't do it. But it was. it was kind of weird. It was just a weird. Although a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, are you watching?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I didn't like." I watched a couple episodes. And I'm like, "This is the stupidest thing in the world."
Wasn't there a speedboat on the water, Brian? I just
Yeah.
remember seeing the opening credits. He's on a speedboat in the water. He's dressed in black. The
They
boat.
were ex Navy SEAls, and they went around helping people and stuff like that. And,
Oh,
I never even heard. Was it like the A Team kind of?
yeah,
Never heard of it.
yes, a lot of that. The music in the background, and go, yeah, kind of like that.
All right.
Yeah,
what was
not,
it?
not worth watching, Alex. Believe me, not worth watching.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
never watched the A
Just-
Team either.
Oh,
I
that
didn't
was a
like
good
I never
show.
see, I didn't care for the 18
What
Oh,
were
I
those
love that
guys?
show.
Were they bounty hunters or what?
I love that show.
because they never shot anybody. They would shoot, and no one ever got shot.
Yeah. And
Barney
things would
Fife?
explode. Nobody ever died.
Yeah.
Nobody ever died in the A Team. But I thought it was a good show. You know,
I
for
love
being
Mr.
a
T.
kid when it was
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Were they like outlaws? They're in a van running away from the government or something?
Yeah. They were like
Mercenaries.
mercenaries, but they were all in the military, and then I don't know, did they
Go
they
AWOL?
ran away from the military or something? The government was
They're
after
criminals. We're watching a
Yeah.
show about criminals.
Yeah.
In jail, these
but they're helping people,
criminals at Robin Hood. They're like,
right? And Mr. T was in it, and he was great.
That's right, Mr. T, who was then
Yeah.
featured in a Rocky movie similar to Hulk Hogan, who was also in a Rocky movie, Thunderlips.
Yes, Thunderlips.
Well, yeah, and then when he was on the Rocky movie, didn't Vince McMahon sue him?
I would not
Pretty
be
sure.
surprised.
I'm pretty sure he did.
That's
I
huge.
just yeah.
What a controversy.
No, it was. I mean, I don't know. So I have mixed feelings too. I like the guy, but I liked him at that one part. I did see him become this person I didn't like, and that bothered me a lot. So I kind of like dropped. I didn't really like care much about him after that, and just like you guys said. But last year, when my daughter Taylor and I went to visit my cousin Chris in Florida, and he took us to Clearwater, and we went to the Hulk Hogan bar and the Hulk Hogan store.
Oh,
And I said, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, because I kept on remembering because it was all about the Hulkamania days,
yeah.
and it was pretty cool to see it, and it just gave me some good memories. So I kind of, I wasn't down on him as much, but like anybody, I don't want to see anybody die, and especially people like that a big part of our childhood. I don't want to see that. It's just.
And he was only 71.
Yeah, and supposedly he had like some kind of larynx surgery recently or something like that.
I don't think the vitamins that he was taking were the right vitamins.
Pray and take your vitamins. Wrong vitamins.
Drink your milk.
Big man, right? 6'7", over 300 pounds. That's never. I can't imagine that's ever a formula for living to be 90 years old.
He was the first guy to ever beat Andre the Giant, right?
Body slammed him too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he changed wrestling, made it massive, and then when he went to WCW because he had this conflict with WWE, and I think WCW offered them a more flexible schedule. And I know all this from the Mr. McMahon documentary. They were only wrestling 2 or 3 days a week, something like that, at WCW, and getting paid more. And when he went to WCW and they formed that NWO where he was a bad guy, that show then beat the WWE show for dozens of weeks after that became the number one show. It was killing WWE for a long time. And then WWE had to change how they were presenting their wrestlers and their storylines, took over again, got some new stars. And then, of course, Hulk came back. Hulk actually appeared now that WWE Raw show is on Netflix. And Alex, I don't know if you watched that or if your son watches it, but I saw this appearance from January. Hulk Hogan came out in LA and he was promoting a new beer of his, Real American Beer, and he got booed by the crowd.
Oh yeah, they booed him off. Yeah.
And he looked really old in that. Like he looked very hobbled, did not
Yeah.
move well. So
Well, yeah, these guys put their body on the line, every night. While it's what do they say? It's scripted, but they're still doing the moves.
oh
right?
yeah,
It's
you're
not
getting
like-
body slam. That's got to
Oh
hurt.
yeah, they get hurt. When they get hurt, they really get
Yeah.
hurt. Some of those guys, yeah. I mean, that's
And
I don't
today,
care
what they
I don't
do
care how
is
you
like,
land, right?
Yeah.
If you get body slammed, it's got to hurt your back.
yeah, and every night of the
Yeah.
week. And what they do today, like it's crazy what they do, jumping out of the ring now and flips, and it's insane.
Yeah, they've really raised the level of that. And look, though, Hulk Hogan created created this as a huge opportunity for other guys. I mean, without Hulk Hogan, there's no Dwayne the Rock Johnson, who's a
Oh yeah,
crossover.
yeah.
John
Stone
Cena,
Cold.
who's actually kind of a funny actor. I saw him in a movie the other day. I was like, this guy's not bad. He's kind of funny. So
Yeah.
What did you see him in?
Trainwreck,
Is that good?
it's pretty good. He's very funny in it. Like
I like him in that superhero movie he's in, the superhero TV show.
The
That's a
he
really
makes fun of
Peacemaker.
himself. I
the
think
Peacemaker. He's really over the top in that, but
yeah.
he's
In this one, he is too. Seems like he's makes fun of himself because obviously
which is funny. Yeah. It's just, now, hey, Alex, one more thing about Thunder in Paradise. Another show that's kind of like it, actually a lot like it, except for it has a helicopter. Is Airwolf. Remember that one?
Oh, sure. I
Yeah.
remember
So
that.
it's like a boat version of
Airwolf.
Airwolf. That's
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's the way to look at it. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, again, rest in peace, Hulk. I don't want to wish anything bad about you. I know you weren't always the best man, best human being. But you made some happiness in our life when we were younger. So I can't really fault the guy for that. But you know what? He
Well,
made his own
Fulham
bed. I
does
mean,
it.
he made a lot of money, just like everybody else. He makes a lot of money, but he does stuff with it. Like
Yeah.
what do you do with that? And the fact that you are people that kids look up to, and you act like that, it kind of gets you after
Your heroes often
But
disappoint you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, he wasn't my favorite wrestler by far, but I did like him, and I just loved watching him. I mean, again, sometimes I would root against him, but I just he was fun to watch. As a wrestler, he's got to be top 10 wrestler of all time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about Mount Rushmore, but he could be a top 10 wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
We could, we should do that Mount Rushmore eventually. But
He was featured in the main event in 7 of the first 8 WrestleManias. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the whole bususiness then.
Yeah, for
He was
sure.
everything.
he sold a lot of merch too. But
Yeah.
again, what did he do with his money? And then he had that whole thing with who was that stupid radio DJ that was his friend? Do you know?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the amoeba guy or the
No.
love sponge. Bubba
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Bubba
The Love Sponge. Yes.
Yeah.
What an idiot that guy was. I was about to say something, another word. And the two of them were friends, and then Bubba turned on him, right? And it's like, I don't know. It's probably hard to have friends when you're in that type of industry, and
Yeah, but just be a regular person, like don't live the persona. Just be a regular person. And
I think The Rock is doing that. As much as The Rock is, from what I hear about The Rock, he's actually a pretty decent guy.
Yeah.
But because he had good parents, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But Terry Hogan, the AKA Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. 3 of the Hardway Sports, wishes you good luck in whatever afterlife you believe in. Okay, so a lot of other things. I don't want to go into anybody. I don't even know what religion he is, so who knows? I mean, if he is one, I don't even know. So, and then there's some other people who died this week, like Chuck Mangione died.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Great.
that's a real tough one. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I mean, like these are tough ones. I'm not.
When
just
Ozzy Osbourne died, come on, tell me you guys didn't pause for a second and say, wait a minute, he wasn't dead.
Well, no, the reason why I knew he wasn't dead is because he just did that big concert out in London.
Yeah.
And a couple of people I know really wanted to go to it, but it was like thousands of dollars for the lowest seat was like $10,000 US or something. It was like crazy.
I'm not. I shouldn't be surprised, but the outpouring of love for him is huge online.
Yeah, agreed.
Where the kids were playing. Did you see the kids playing the xylophone, the Crazy Train?
No.
Oh, it was amazing. And I guess they did it. The school the teacher taught them this, and they were young kids, and they have like xylophones and steel drums and all these different wacky instruments, and they played Crazy Train. And I remember that got big, it got popular on the internet. And then Ozzy actually went. He and Sharon and the daughter. What was the daughter's name? Kelly.
Yeah,
they
Kelly.
went to see them, and the kids performed for them, and he was so into it. It was really, really cool. But so many people doing so many things for him, tributes, very nice. I mean, clearly an influential guy in the music industry, and laid it all out there, right? Like in his reality show, he was just a regular dude walking around, not knowing how to turn on the TV or change anything, and the kids are laughing at him. And
But yeah, another guy, man, who had crazy drugs all his life, and
yeah,
then then his
yeah,
wife actually cleaned him up, and
yeah,
he
sure.
probably lived a much better. He probably lived a lot longer than he would have
Oh yeah,
if he had still kept on the way he was. But
and made a
he,
lot more money because she really organized and
Yeah.
managed, and
yeah, yeah,
got him back, on his feet, and all of Black Sabbath got them all on their feet and
and yet
touring
Keith
again.
Richards is still alive.
I
He should.
know.
Keith Rich.
I,
I haven't
I,
seen Keith Richards in a while, but I was
he's
talking.
probably all worried now. He said, "Man, look at this. I'm gonna be next." This is
He
crazy.
should have. He should, if he doesn't. I don't follow him on any social media, but he should have an online account where when somebody dies, he should just be there and be like, "Yeah, I'm still here every
That's a
time.
great idea.
Every time somebody's famous dies."
I figured that the reason Keith Richards is still alive is because he's probably pickled.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Like I was never a big fan of Ozzy Osbourne's music. Never a Black Sabbath fan. Like everyone else, yeah, I think Crazy Train's a fine enough song. Listened to Blizzard of Oz as a kid, but never got into him. But seemed like a nice guy, and people seem really affected.
yeah,
Like you said, the posts from people my age, younger, older. Matt Pinfield, the old MTV DJ that hosted 120 Minutes, he posted something, and he had this very ornate cane that he said Ozzy Osbourne gave to him as a gift. It's beautiful,
Huh.
like hand carved. Looks like it's a gold handle, and so I'm like, wow, he seemed like he was a really nice guy. And on the show, like you said, Alex, the kids are making fun of me. Seemed like a typical dad, just getting made fun of.
Yeah,
These guys
Well,
are
he
good
was.
start.
So the Osbournes were I think Survivor, the Osbournes, like they were like the first reality things, right?
Family,
So they
family.
really were, and so they were the really they before that reality television wasn't really that good, and his that took off.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
funny.
So another. I mean, we didn't talk about this one yet either. Well, Chuck Mangione again, wonderful artist, amazing music. He was the one I said I didn't know he was alive. He was the one that I said I didn't even know he was still alive when my wife told me that. I didn't know. So that was one I have to say, and I feel bad, But guy, wonderful music. Every time you hear his songs, it was him. You could always tell from how he played, and so he
I
was
just
great.
remember from the 1980 Olympics because that one
Yes,
song, like he played all
yes,
that was, and he was. I
Hmm.
remember him being in Lake Placid, like playing at night there outside with people around. That's when the Olympics were a little more low key, and small towns like Lake Placid could do it. But I remember him being there and playing, and his song was kind of the theme for that whole Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah,
but then we also have Malcolm Jamal Warner dying.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was another one, and it's tragic because he was
Like
out
our
there swimming.
obituary episode here.
Yeah, well, this is crazy. I mean, but you know what? This is what we were talking about at lunch right now, since
Yeah,
we were in lunch, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's another thing too, man. He was just swimming with his family, and something happened. He got an undertow, and he probably wasn't a great swimmer, and he got sucked under, and um, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. I feel bad about that, and
yeah.
Well, we didn't talk about it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, the passing last month of Dave Parker, the Cobra. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, no.
I mean, he was my favorite baseball player growing up, and met him at an autograph show one time, and such a nice man. And he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend. So he
yes,
passed
he
away
is. Yes, he
a
is, and
month
yeah,
a month
I
before,
have
which
more on
is
that when we later on, but
darn shame.
it's sad, sad. That was a
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad when these things happen, and we find out about it, and then you realize some of these people sometimes you hadn't thought about in a while,
Yeah.
and then you realize
And only
that they passed.
74. Yeah.
There was there was a baseball player, Bobby Jenks, who just recently died, and
Oh, the
he
pitcher.
was
Yes.
the White
Yes.
Sox would not have won that World Series without him. He was that
Our
good.
closer, right? He was our closer, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Very
things
young
like that,
man.
it's just you don't know that when these things happen, they happen, and some of these people have faded from the spotlight, and some have not, and this one I don't know. It's strange that so many have happened in the last like week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes in
And of
threes.
all ages, people of all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this is
yeah.
why Bryan has YOLO tattooed on his forearm. So.
And there's a couple. Are there a couple soccer players that
Oh, the Diogo
Yeah,
Jota thing. That was a
yeah,
terrible
Yeah.
the
story.
Liverpool
Yeah,
player.
it blew
Yeah,
out a tire, it sounds like. They were driving, what, a Porsche, Alex? And it blew out a tire, and him and his brother passed away. That
yeah,
was a huge
that was
tragedy.
tough. Yeah,
Yeah. And
and he was a
he
great
was
player, and his
very
brother
good.
wasn't great, but still life, taken. But
Yeah, and he
his
had
brother
just
played.
gotten married, right? I think he was with his wife for a very long time, had at least one kid, I believe, and they only recently got married. They were together for a really long time. It was like his childhood sweetheart. They got married about a month before he passed. And the reason I think I had read that they were driving is because he had had a procedure on his lung recently, and they didn't want him to fly. So him and his brother were driving, and then they were going to take a boat back to Liverpool for a final physical to clear him to play this upcoming season. So, yeah, just a shame.
Yeah, it's a sad one. So okay, let's start talking about something nicer.
Now I'm sad.
I, okay, I'll start because I haven't got to even tell you anything about this yet. So I talk this is actually a good segue because of Dave Parker. Um, so I got to spend some time in Pittsburgh this week, and which is a wonderful city. And the last time I was there, I've been there a couple times in the last couple of years, but I haven't had a chance to actually like experience it as much as I wanted to. But this time I did. But I hadn't, prior to that, I hadn't been to any of the sporting events there in years. Actually, before this new stadium. So I will tell you, I went to the Pirates' new stadium. First of all, that entire area is wonderful. There's little bars all over the place. We went to a bar. We went to the 12 noon game and or 12:30 game. So we went really early to the bars, but they wanted to show me some of the cool little bars, and it reminds me of Wrigleyville, but a
Oh,
little bit more organized.
very nice.
And it was just great. Everybody's a Pirate fan. Everybody. It's a really cool area. Everything's walkable. Like the stadiums, even the hockey stadium's not that far away, but you know, the Steelers and Pirates are like right down the road from each other. They're right next to each other. It's amazing. It's really set up right, really nice. So very beautiful skylines. The town of Pittsburgh is has changed so much over the years. It is just one sight line after another. The architecture is really cool. I was so impressed. I was so impressed. So we walked over the Roberto Clemente Bridge. We walked around, looked at the Mazeroski statue. We went on Riverwalk where they have a gigantic, I would say I don't know, 3 or 4 foot gigantic baseballs all along the river with all the names of all the pirates who are in the Hall of Fame, and they had the spot ready for Dave Parker's because it's coming up soon. Uh, like little things like that, and I even saw the. If you guys remember that Bruce Willis movie where he was a cop on the river in Pittsburgh, they had that that shack where he worked because they still have it, right? They still have the cops there. So I
Hmm.
saw that, and like, it was just really good. So the stadium itself has now become my second favorite compared to
Ooh,
um, Camden Yards.
okay.
Um, it is the sight lines are great. I mean, when you sit in that, we were in the second deck in the club level, and um, it was really. I mean, the view you have from right towards the outfield of the skyline of the town, and it's just amazing. I'll show you guys pictures. Amazing, and the stadium itself, they have more stats than you ever wanted to believe on. Like I've never seen this many stats in a stadium. They're all over the place. They tell you, they tell you the speed that the guy was trying to steal a base and how big of a lead he took and everything like that. Like all these crazy things. The food is well, okay. The food is mostly tremendous, but I did have one that was pretty nasty. But I had this. There was especially a renegade dog. Everybody's going, "Oh, you got to get the renegade dog. It's supposed to be really good." And I said, "Has anybody had one?" No, but I heard it was really good. Okay, well
Uh,
that kind of
a
scared me.
setup. It sounds like a
So me and
setup.
this other guy
Yeah.
go get one. So it's a gigantic hot dog. It's about a foot and a half long, and
What?
it's got on top of it pulled pork,
Oh my God.
pickles, and pierogies.
Oh,
So so
how big was the roll?
I have a picture
Six
of it. Big.
inches.
It was big. It was big. So I
Yeah. It was
So
just flopping over
well,
either.
and that's the thing. As
Both
soon as I
sides.
picked it up, all the pulled pork it leaked into the bun, right? So it was like it really made
Oh,
it hard to eat. So so first of all, I eat the pierogies, which I love pierogies, so that was
Man,
great, you know. Um, and then I'm like, how am I going to eat this? So I kind of ripped the hot dog in half, but the bun was a disaster because it was all soggy. And I don't like pickles, so I took the pickles off. And then, so,
really?
oh yeah, I can't stand pickles. And then,
Hmm.
so then I'm eating it pulled pork on top of a hot dog. It's just not a good mix. It was just nasty. So I ate half of it, not even. And I'm like, does anybody want a half? No, they're like, no. And then, and the other guy who got one too, he had the same problem. He stopped, like he only ate half of his because it was just not. The mix is not good. That's not a good mix.
Yeah.
Was the bun a hot dog bun?
Yeah, hot dog, but a real big one, but soggy, Mike. By the time I got, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's why a
by the
hot
time I
dog.
sat down, it was already soggy. It was
Yeah,
like
a
it
hot
was,
dog bun can't get soaked.
yeah.
The
So
hot dog, was it like a fat hot dog, almost like a kibasi?
no, it was like a big giant
A long skinny hot dog? Like
long
a
hot dog.
maintenance
Yeah,
hot dog?
I'll send you a picture. I took a picture of it, but
A foot and a half
so
long hot
again,
dog.
it was, but all the other food they had there was top notch. It was really good
Mhm.
and reasonably priced. Pittsburgh has a lot of laws about price gouging and stuff. So I was very surprised on how it was. Again, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like Yankee or City Field. Like that it's $20 for a can of soda.
How much
It's
was
it
the
was
Renegade dog, Brian?
15.
So the
That's
hot, so
pretty
a
It
hot,
was
expensive.
pretty big though. It was pretty
hot
big,
dog
guys.
with pulled
Yeah, it was pretty
pork,
big.
pierogies,
Um,
pickles.
So is that named after? Because don't they play Renegade
they do.
at the Steelers games? Did they play
Yeah,
it at the
maybe
Pirates
they do.
game?
Yeah, they did play it.
Yeah.
They played a lot. I mean, again, music wise, it was a lot of fun. They had a pierogi race. Which was pretty funny. And everybody, they even have like they sell you shirts and hats of the pierogies, the people that are in the pierogi race. There's like all these different characters, and
Who
that was
pit?
pretty funny.
Who pitched?
So the two guys, they were young guys. They were. Yeah, I have to go.
It wasn't Skeens.
No, I was hoping Screwball and Schemes would have
Yeah.
been the great, but no, they had just pitched.
Who did they
So
play?
they
Who
were
did the
not there.
Pirates play?
The Tigers, the Pirates played the Tigers,
Oh,
and the Tigers were a good team,
yeah,
and
they
the
are.
Pirates kicked their butt.
Okay.
It was McCutcheon had a home run, leading off the game. The second player of the game. So the first person made a line out, and then the first guy got a line out, and then McCutcheon hit a home run. Um,
They love him there, right?
love him,
Yeah.
love him. A lot of, and again, because he's
Yeah,
been that, but
came
again,
back.
he's nowhere near what he used to be. But he also made this amazing catch in center field too. So the guy can still play the game.
Yeah.
He's not how the MVP style guy he used to be. But he's just a really good player, and they love him there. And that team is not good. The Pirates are not good, and even all the people there, they all know because I was like, there was a guy at second base. I'm like, who is that guy? And they're like, oh, he's a bum. They just um,
The
they're
owner's
not
terrible.
they're not good. But the Tigers are good, and the Tigers were hitting the ball, but not really getting. And this guy, his name is Bryan Falter. He pitched 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, 4 hits, only 1 run. He was really good. He was really good. But their defense played really good. Kiner Falefa made
Yeah.
a really nice play.
Hmm.
Cabron Hayes, that third baseman, Charlie Hayes' son.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
a great third baseman. They're all saying that he should be Golden Glove, but he can't hit. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The guy's an amazing. And then O'Neill Cruz made a nice play, but McCutcheon made this the play of the game. There was I think 2 men on, and there was a sinking line drive to center field, and he just dove and he caught it. Like I mean, I don't even. They had to do a replay to check, but he did catch it, and that was really cool.
Was it sold out, Brian?
No, no, it
No.
was not
Yeah.
sold out.
yeah. Did they get
There was a lot of
fans?
people there, but it not sold out. No, it was not.
So what is it with the Pirates? They're a classic organization, and they've been so bad for so long. Is it mismanagement? Is it just not keeping the young players? Like
I think
what's
it's not
wrong
keeping
with
the
it?
young players because it's
Yeah,
not. It's not like they don't have money, right? There's not, because they have money.
No,
They,
the owner's terrible. He doesn't
yeah,
spend any money.
that's what he doesn't. He doesn't
they've
spend
got
money.
money from revenue sharing, right? Is
Yeah,
this
but
Yeah,
he's not
and he puts
spending
it in
it.
his pocket.
oh
Yeah,
I thought you had to spend the
but I
money.
have to tell you. Let me tell you
Right?
guys that park is amazing. I wish we had something like that in our the things that they had there to do, the views. the way it's set up to make it so easy to walk around. Um, very, very, very unique compared to some of the other places I've been to. Well designed. And
I think I told the story before, but on the fan, Boomer Esiason and Geo in the mornings.
yes,
Mhm.
Geo tells a story. He was in Pittsburgh on a flight, and the owner of the Pirates was sitting next to him, and he's like, we were in like economy class.
What?
And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not spending the money to fly up there.
yeah,
Seriously?
that's
So
kind of what they need to do. They
he's
have
like,
to, yeah.
Gio's like, that sums up the Pirates right there. Like, he's not going to spend any money for anything.
That's a shame.
It's
Yeah.
sad because they have a very rabid fan base.
Rich
They
history.
they love the team. And you look around the stadium, they do a really good job. They have pictures of obviously Dave Parker. They have pictures of Willie Stargell, Bill Mazeroski,
Mhm.
all the famous Al Oliver, who was another guy who should be in the Hall of Fame, like Manny Sanguian. There was one. All the players that were part of their championships and their history.
Well,
There were
they covered
pictures
up
all over the place.
Roberto Clemente with an advertisement this year. The
Oh,
right field, the 21
Yeah,
thing. They
yeah.
covered that up with like a, I think it was what's that called? With the iced tea liquor.
yeah. A hard iced tea, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
One of
wow.
those. Yeah, I
And then
know.
they changed, like the people went crazy and
I know they
they
did.
took it back down.
And so, but again, the area, guys, it's just amazing. It's just a well designed. Like I think Camden Yards is still my favorite because
Yeah.
something about that place, emotes baseball to me, and that's
Mhm.
what I like about it. But the area of Camden Yards is dangerous now. So like you walk like 3 or 4 blocks from there now, it's not a good place to be.
Brutal.
Whereas this is all different. It's well designed for the crowds of their sports teams because that's probably where they're one of the biggest revenue grabs of the people that come in and get beer, get the iron. I had Iron City beer, Iron City Light, whatever.
Mm.
They go, hey, you want an icy light? They go, what's an icy light? That's an Iron City Light. Iron City, they still make that beer. I said, so yeah, so I had. It was actually not bad. So it's just a great thing. I highly recommend if you're a baseball fan going to see a game there. You will not be disappointed. The Pirates might lose and you might be disappointed there, but the
Is
game
it like
itself.
the Philly Stadium, Brian?
No, it's better than the Philly Stadium. I like the Philly Stadium a lot.
Dude, there's
That's
not
one of my
good.
top now.
Yeah.
Their new stadium is really
Yeah,
nice.
because they were both built around the same
Yeah.
time.
No,
Like the state funded both.
this one has it's more geared towards the aesthetics of the town,
Mm.
which
Right.
is hard to describe, but you have to see it.
Well, the bridges and all that,
Yeah,
right?
because
Yeah.
you look out in the outfield and it's like amazing. It's just
Yeah.
the picture. I remember seeing it from a video game, and I said it can't be like that. It was actually better. It was
Wow.
just so
Hmm.
cool.
That's awesome.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, great thing. Pittsburgh, we had a good time. Got Grand Slam too. It was really really cool, and I highly enjoyed it. But we went, I did the whole experience. We went to the 2 bars before the game. Went to and we went to the three most famous sports bars. We went to all of them, and on the way after the game went to another. I was like, yeah, wow, this was a
Like you're
long day.
25, Brian.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm not. I was. It hit me. Let me tell you. And but it was fun. It was fun. It was great, and I really enjoyed it. And I even had bought a Pittsburgh Pirate hat. So
Did the stovepipe one?
no, they did not have that, Mike. I tried to
What?
get one.
Come on. How
I
can you do
tried to get one. I was looking around for them. They did not
that?
have one. I bought it. I just bought the traditional all black with the yellow.
With the
Um,
yellow? Okay. The
but yeah,
stovepipe is a classic, man. Like that thing.
classic. I
I
wanted
remember.
that. The Willie Stargell, put a little cross on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Or
I had
Dave
all
Parker. Yeah, those guys. That's what they. So anyway, but that again, go if you have a chance, guys, go. And I think now, Mike, didn't you just go to Milwaukee and see a game?
No, next week, so I
Oh,
can
okay.
talk
Then we'll
about
have
it
to hear
next
that.
week because
That's a
that will
great
be.
stadium. I've
Oh,
been
you've
there.
been there?
It's a great, yeah. It's a great
Okay, I
stadium.
was at the old when I was last in Milwaukee. I saw a game at the old county stadium, and you could see the new stadium under construction. At the time, it was called Miller Park. I think now it's American Family Insurance or something like that. So yeah,
So
so
you
I'll be
you went
there.
when the Bernie Brewer was there, right?
Yeah, I think they still have
They
Birdie
still have him,
Broom.
yeah.
I think he slides into a beer mug, but he's got like insurance paperwork in his hand or something like that. But yeah, they're playing the Cubs, which should be a really good game because you got
Oh,
Craig
good for you.
Counsell
Good for
coming
you,
back.
man. Good for
Craig
you.
Counsell, old Brewers manager, now managing the Cubs, coming back. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm going
Excited.
to go see the Royals in Kansas City in
Mhm.
August. Yeah, like again, baseball is one sport where every stadium's different, and
Mhm.
that makes it so cool to go because they're just unique the way they're built, and I love that about baseball. And I hear people say this sometimes. This might be even a topic for a podcast, but I hear people saying that baseball should all be the stadium should all be the same size. I
No,
That should never happen, right? I know.
No,
no.
no way.
I
Yeah.
just saw some baseball news come down. Jeff Passan, the
Hmm.
Mariners are acquiring first baseman Josh Naylor from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mm.
Ooh.
He was on the Guardians
Guardians,
last year,
right?
right?
Yeah. It should
Yeah,
be
We got
yeah.
the
the Indians. Yeah,
Guardians.
he was on the Indians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
The Indians. Name's coming back, right?
Yeah.
No, they said no. They came out and said no. The
Yeah.
Commanders haven't said anything yet. But
Oh, I thought
Well,
no.
I tell you this though, I guarantee you, if you did a fan poll, the fans would want him back. They're not. They might not want to say it publicly
I think
because
so
they might get
too.
because they're
Mm.
worried about the social media outburst. But I guarantee you that we should try to find Scott Marshall and ask him. They would want to go back to what they originally had. They would.
yeah, yeah. But the next generation would be like, wait, what?
How
You know,
how how have the Braves and the Blackhawks avoided changing their names?
because they're not like, I don't think they're derogatory.
Hmm.
Like the logo was derogatory for the Indians, and redskin was a
Wow.
derogatory term.
Yeah,
So
Hmm.
the skin. It would have been better to do the skins, but then they would think that maybe
It's,
some kind of mass murder that rips off people's skins or something.
it's even
Um,
better. It's a condom.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Skins. Sponsored by Trojan.
yeah, could be true. Could be true. Oh, anyway, okay. So, Alex, did you play golf recently?
oh, I don't even want to talk
I
about
Oh,
it.
want to hear. I want to hear this. Come on,
there's
let's
a
go.
lot to
Let's
talk
go.
about here. Come
So
on.
you played golf. How was it?
So I've committed to golf this year. Like
Okay.
I'd been playing, play once a week, no lessons, whatever. And this year I committed. I signed up for lessons. I take lessons once a week. I also go to the same place for an hour and hit balls once a week. So every Monday I hit balls. Every Wednesday I have my lesson. And I
Mhm.
play once or twice a week. And I am getting worse. And
What?
not like it's getting so bad. It's so frustrating. My scores were never great. I was, when I'm playing well, I can shoot in the high 80s.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And then I would say on a normal day, I was probably low 90s. I
Mhm.
am high 90s now. And I don't know what I'm doing and swinging. And so I don't know. I had a good front nine. I shot a 46, good for me. But then I just blew up. I was walking today and it was pretty hot. But
What
um,
what part of the game has gotten worse? Is it all parts of the game?
as I tell people when they ask me, well, what did the instructor, when you're taking lessons, what he's worked on? And I said, well, at the first point, he said, we only have to fix one thing. And I said, oh, great. What's that? He said, everything.
Oh.
So no, it's just inconsistency in what I call club switching. You go from one club to the next, and you're not you don't hit it well. So today, my irons were fine, my putting was fine. My short game was actually pretty good. I didn't hit off the tee well, and that just if your first shot's bad, then
Yeah, I know it kind of
yeah,
kills your
Your
whole
head
round. Yeah, I
too.
yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
So I really just focused today on trying to play bogey golf, right? Like if it's a par four, make it a par five in your mind and play for five strokes. And then you're gonna, if you play bogey golf, you're gonna shoot a 90. And yeah, that worked pretty well for me on the front nine. I think I was like 9 over on the front nine. So I was right where I should be. And then
Mhm.
I just blew up on the back nine. So yeah, it's fun. I love I play with my sons, which is great.
That's good.
Today I just played with, three random dudes and one kid, sophomore Villanova, he shot a 77 today. Like
Wow.
he was like, yeah,
Is he on
he
the
was
golf
pretty
team?
good. What's that?
Is he on the golf team there?
No, I don't think so. He
Hmm.
didn't say he was,
Wow.
but he was
So
stroking it.
that it's funny because I hear you about that because I used to have a great drive, and that used to be my game. I would drive and then make up for, everything else, make up for all my the horrible putting and horrible short game. And then I don't know if baseball, softball, everything screwed up my swing. I have never been able to hit these monster drives like I used to be able to.
Yeah.
Now when I go play, I hit these. Like, I still hit it pretty straight, but if I do try to put some power into them, they shank all over the
Mm.
place.
Yeah.
But I have to say my short game has gotten better. But I'm still not. I never consider myself a good golfer because I will be. You could play. I could play two times with you, and one time I could shoot really well, and you're like, "Hey, Brian knows he's pretty good." And the next time I play, you'll be like, "Has he ever even played golf in his life?"
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what happens sometimes. And like Alex says, if your tee goes bad mentally, your next shot you're not into it because you're so pissed off about the next shot, then you're not paying attention as much. Then you hit the next one into the tree, and that's why I used to go play a lot with our buddy Mike Kolopakin,
Mm.
and we would go play it, and we would do the best ball stuff, and so we would go, and he would people at this one course that he would go, people would bet money. He would bring me, and then we so he people would they would bet, and they would bet, and so it would be two people playing against each other, and it was best ball of the two of you. So the first person tees off, and then you use the best of those two, and then you continue on. He's taking a shot, and whoever does the best, you take that shot. So I would tee off, and I would get the long tee because he couldn't hit that far, but every other shot that guy took was straight and perfect. Like it was amazing how
Yeah.
how good he was, and so we would win a lot of money. But I never would put. I never like he always put the money down. He said no, I'm going to put the money down, and then someday he would give me the money. I didn't want it. I said like I did not earn this. This was you. Because you know what happened. This is what would happen. Once in a while, I'd hit a nice shot. Then they would use my shot, but most of the time we use my drives. But the rest of the shots, I would say 80% were his,
Yeah.
right? They'd be like, I would like flukily hit one good, and you'd be like, "Hey, well, you just use yours this time, okay?" But it was normally his,
Yeah.
and but it was fun. But all he did was he had this perfect hit it straight swing, right? It didn't have to. He didn't have to hit it far. He didn't have any power, but he hit it straight. So once you get past that first drive, the guy was awesome. And that's a really cool thing. I remember my grandmother being very similar. My grandmother was really good. She couldn't hit a long drive, but
Mm.
she was really good in her short game, and because she always played since she was a little kid, and she learned to do that, and she never got bad habits because she wasn't playing any other sport. And I think sometimes when you play other things, it does something to the way you. I don't know. I don't know. It just plays with your because you want to kill. Like one thing about golf is you want to kill the ball, right? You want to just like massacre it, and you really can't do that. You just got to hit it like
Square.
square on, right? Yeah, perfect. And that's a problem. Again, that's why I will never be a good golfer because I just can't get that concept down sometimes. I'll have a great game and I'll have an awful game. There's no in between for me, and it gets me really frustrated. So that's why when we do corporate events, I'm always hoping that it's either good Brian or bad Brian because I don't want to be embarrassed. And 9 out of 10 times it's like, oh guys, who is this guy? So yeah, golf is a strange game, Alex. But I mean, you've really committed to this the last couple of years. I mean, since I don't even since I know we worked together, you were really trying and playing a lot.
Yeah. I never played
Have you gotten
until
progress?
I really
So let's say
retired.
the last 5 6 years. Are you better than you were 5 or 6 years ago?
Well, I haven't played that long. I've probably only
Okay,
been playing for 5 years
okay,
because I really only played when I played a few times at work, like once or twice or maybe 3 times a year. But once I retired, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to play once a week, and I was
Mm.
doing that, and then I did that for a couple years, and then um, then I COVID and all that, so that was all kind of lost, and I didn't play then. And then I like I said, this year I just committed to lessons and just really trying to get better, and it's literally going the other way. And I go into the instructor, he's like, "Okay, did you play? Yep. How'd you do?" I'm like, "Terrible." He's like, "What is going on?" Because
Mm.
then where I'm having lessons, you hit. It's like a simulator, so you're hitting. He's like, "All right, well, let's hit. Grab your 7 iron. Let's," and I'll hit. If I hit 10 shots, 7 of them are really good. He's like, "I don't get it." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't get it either." So, it is what it is. But I'll get better. I'll keep at it. So,
It's got to be a mental thing, right?
yeah, that's what Brendan says. My son, he's like, because he plays with me a lot. He's like, you're thinking about too many things. Just go up there and do one thing. Focus on one thing. Which, when I hit it right, I mean, it goes. It goes where I want it to go, and goes the distance I expect it to go, and all that stuff's good. But we'll see. I'll keep at it.
Every time you watch those tournaments and you see these guys that are consistently hitting the ball well, and even those guys who are great have their off days or a bad shot here or there, and you're watching them walk. And I know they've got a caddy, but it's a very lonely pursuit, right? It's just you and the ball. And, everyone expects what they expect from you, and you expect something from yourself. And, maybe it's not conscious, it's like an unconscious thing is happening. Like Brendan says, hey, just focus on one thing, and you're like, yeah, I'm focusing on one thing. Are you?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, they say a pro misses an 8-foot putt. Is it 8 foot or 8 yard? I forget. 50% of the time.
Wow.
Because if you made them, you would be a professional like that.
No, I'm saying the professionals.
Oh, even the professionals.
Well,
Well,
50% of the time.
Yeah,
it must be 8 yards.
It's a tough sport.
Maybe a 25-foot putt, Alex, right? Because an 8-footer, they should be able to hit, I would think, at a higher percentage. Maybe a 25-foot putt. You said 8 yards, maybe 8 yards.
Let me look it up.
Seems more logical. 25. I feel like an 8-foot putt, knowing how to read the greens is a tap in for those guys. For me, I'd muff it.
An 8-foot putt is from the top to the bottom of the room you're probably in right now. That you can't say that's an automatic putt.
Yeah.
Because
I'm looking now.
You don't know about it's rarely ever flat.
Oh yeah, you're reading the greens. They're walking. Yeah. You're walking. They're looking at it. They're kneeling down. All that stuff.
So this says, on average, professional golfers make 40% of their 10-foot putts.
Wow. Okay. So there you go, Alex. You can't beat up yourself too much. These are guys that are playing 7 days a week.
I never leave around feeling like, oh, putting was my problem. Like maybe I 3-putt 2 times or 3 times around. I never feel like it's putting.
I don't feel like I've played golf a handful of times, and 9 holes, great. I've played 18 holes a couple of times. There's no way mentally I can stay focused for 18
holes.
Tough.
Yeah,
it's real. Tough. By 13 or 14, I'm really checked out. It's very
when you first start, that like 12, 13 is where you're like, okay, I'm sick of it.
You know what we gotta do? Let's do it. Let's do a 3 the hard way competition. Mike and I against you and your son.
Best ball. Best ball.
They're gonna kill us, but they're gonna kill us. But that's okay. But it would be hilarious. It would be a good episode to talk about how bad we were.
Brendan's good. He's better than I am.
Yeah.
I
played, we're going to get killed, Mike. If we do that, we're going to get slaughtered.
I played once. It was years ago. This was maybe 20 years ago. We were down in the Outer Banks, and I went to play golf with these 3 guys, and rented clubs. And I'm like, these guys actually play golf. I'm terrible. And we got to one hole. It was a par 3, and it was a par 3 and it was like you have to hit it over the water. And I hit a perfect tee shot, looped it over the water, landed within 2 or 3 feet of the cup.
Love it.
Everyone's like, wow, tapped it in. So the way we were playing, I don't know if this is common, the guy who wins the hole tees off the next time.
Yeah.
We go to the next hole, and so I'm teeing off first. I must have hit a 40-foot grounder, like a screamer, down the first base line, which was into like bushes and trees, right on the heels of this beautiful tee shot on a par 3 and a tap it. My next shot would have killed a chipmunk. Like that's how frustrating for me the game is. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous.
That's golf.
Exactly.
That's it.
So that's why I stay.
Yeah, that's why I've been focusing on pickleball this year. I needed something to keep my mind occupied, and I just can't get in. I can't get the time to do golf. But I think we should do this. Maybe we could find a free weekend. Well, let's do that. Let's do a Shanley's versus the 2 bums in golf.
We have a tee time on Sunday. And there's 2 open spots.
No. I am not ready. I need to go to the driving range for a good couple hours.
I figured I'd toss it out there.
I think Bryan.
No way in hell.
We can go to Bell Works. We can. They've got a driving range at Bell Works, and then we could find a mini golf and practice hitting some of the clown's mouth for putting.
We gotta practice. I used to go to Top Golf all the time when the girls worked there, so that was
we
keeping
did that.
me.
Actually, the three of us did that once. We did that during COVID.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah,
I think Alex killed us though. Every game we played.
So
okay, well, guys, it's been a fun episode. We didn't really talk about much that was perplexing in the news, but we did. It was a lot of fun.
We covered a lot of ground, as they say.
We covered a lot of ground, and as far as sports goes, baseball has been kind of a bummer lately. The All-Star game was cool. Yankees and Mets are just like kind of falling apart. And the Phillies
Mets just swept the Angels.
Yeah, I know.
They're terrible.
And the Angels have been playing well. So that's another big. Trout is starting to come back, and I'm really happy to see that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
His career is going to be such a. I think we're going to look back on that and be like the Ernie Banks of the 2000s. Yeah.
No, but he's the Trout. Like if you remember him when he was young, he was just like amazing. He was such a good guy, Mr. All-American. And it's sad that all the injuries that he went through. So that's why he's really coming through right now. He's been playing really well lately, last month especially. So I'm hoping he makes the playoffs. If they, but they're not going to.
No.
Yeah. That's for the Yankees. I wish the Yankees could pick him up. Maybe they could give him Volpe.
He's too old.
I'd take him for a year or two. Give him Volpe and I don't know who else. Volpe.
But they don't need outfield. The Yankees are loaded in the outfield, and they have Spencer Jones
get rid of
AAA.
Grissom's. I don't like Grissom.
Well, they have Jason Dominguez though too.
They do.
They have a lot.
I'd trade Dominguez for Trout right now. Okay, I would.
I think the salary difference is not a good choice to do that.
No, not at all. Yeah. Not at all. Okay, we'll talk more baseball next week.
All righty.
Okay, great episode, folks.
Have a good night.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Keep your head down, Alex.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
This is Tom Carvel. Thank you for listening to 3 the Hard Way Sports Podcast. Remember to get a Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss for the next time you're sitting down to watch the big game.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
What you gonna do when the 24-inch pythons and the prayers and the vitamins and the power of Hulkamania run wild on you?